From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate. Today is day 3 of early voting from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. The advance polls will officially wrap up tomorrow night at, you guessed it, 9 p.m. Meanwhile, the federal leaders find themselves out west and in the capital today. Both NDP leader Jagmeet Singh and Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre will be in British Columbia, where both will make announcements. Liberal leader Mark Carney is scheduled for an afternoon event in Ottawa. It is also Easter morning. The Vatican celebrated the holy day without Pope Francis presiding as the 88-year-old pontiff continued his recovery from a near-fatal bout of double pneumonia. In his place, Cardinal Angelo Comastri, the retired archpriest of St. Peter's Basilica, celebrated the open-air mass before thousands of people gathered in the square this chilly but sunny spring morning. Francis has only appeared in public a handful of times since returning to the Vatican on March 23rd after a 38-day stay in the hospital. Back home now, where the Canadian Food Inspection Agency is warning consumers about frozen pastries that have been recalled.
2 brands are being recalled in Ontario, Quebec, Alberta, Manitoba, and Nova Scotia due to salmonella concerns. The federal authority says some Sweet Cream brand and DFT brand frozen pastries are affected. The CFIA warns the recalled product may have also been distributed to other provinces and territories. It also could have been sold in clerk-served packages and smaller packages without a label or in a package that doesn't bear the same brand or product name. Don Mitchell, the Canadian Press.
Police in northern BC are continuing to probe the death of a man who had allegedly set fire to an apartment building and drove a vehicle into the flames. Investigators say the man had been suspected in a shooting at the same building earlier in the day. RCMP officials say the incident appears to have been isolated with no ongoing risk to the public, and police have identified several key witnesses in the case. South of the border now, where this weekend thousands turned up in Concord and Lexington, Massachusetts, the neighboring New England towns where the American Revolutionary War began 250 years ago. There were reenactments, parades, memorials, and protesters showing their dissatisfaction with U.S. President Donald Trump. Tracy Pisotrio says this was the best place to express her opinion on the current administration.
This is where our country started with, our freedoms, and no better place to stand up for our freedom.
Organizers of the protest say they oppose what they call the Trump administration's civil rights violations and constitutional violations. And finally, statues depicting religious deception, forced labor, and sexual abuse will take center stage at an upcoming exhibition on the legacy of British imperialist Cecil John Rhodes at Oxford University. Rhodes conquered large parts of southern Africa in the late 19th century and made a fortune in gold and diamond mining. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, the Stanley Cup playoffs are underway for the 2025 edition. Game 1 going to the Winnipeg Jets, who downed the St. Louis Blues 5-3. Meanwhile, the Colorado Avalanche draw first blood against the Dallas Stars, 5-1 the final there. In Major League Soccer action, the league-leading Vancouver Whitecaps had to settle for a scoreless draw against 12th place St. Louis City SC. Elsewhere, Toronto FC beat Real Salt Lake 1-0, while Montreal and the visiting Orlando City Soccer Club played to a scoreless draw. Over to Major League Baseball, Randy Arozarena hit a tie-breaking single in the 12th inning. Rowdy Tellez added his 5th career grand slam, all as the visiting Seattle Mariners beat the Blue Jays 8-4, halting Toronto's 3-game win streak. And finally, Jaden McDaniels had 25 points and 9 rebounds as the visiting Minnesota Timberwolves whipped the Los Angeles Lakers 117-95 in the NBA playoff opener for both teams. From the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.